This is the word of the week for Sunday, May 10th. Journey to the Center. Today's scripture is from the Gospel of John, chapter 14, verses 16, 17, 20, and 21. Jesus said to his disciples, "I will ask the Beloved, and the Beloved will give you another advocate to be with you always, the Spirit of truth, whom the world cannot accept, because it neither sees nor knows the Spirit. But you know Spirit, because Spirit remains with you and will be in you. You will realize that I am in my Beloved, and you are in me, and I in you. And whoever loves me will be loved by my Beloved, and I will love them and reveal myself to them." Reflection. Great mystics of all traditions know the experience of oneness that Jesus lived and shared with his disciples. We all have a divine spark, an indwelling presence from which this experience of oneness can germinate and grow. It's our Christic foundation, from ourselves to our psyche to our souls, the truth of our identity, the truth of what animates us. But much of this understanding of indwelling spirit was lost over time in the Christian tradition. Thomas Keating revitalizes our understanding of this ontological oneness. He says that if the Spirit wasn't animating us at every millisecond of our existence, we would be a grease spot. In Open Mind, Open Heart, he reminds us that, quote, "The chief thing that separates us from God is the thought that we are separated from God. If we get rid of that thought, our troubles will be greatly reduced." In reality, the present moment, every object we see, our inmost nature, are all rooted in God. But we hesitate to believe this until personal experience gives us the confidence to believe it. End quote. The practice of centering prayer is in service to unwinding our concepts and beliefs that cloud our access to the right now experience of the divine. Over time, the obstacles to this free flow of grace are gradually removed as we consent on ever deeper levels. With faithful practice, our intimacy with God is revealed, how the Beloved is ever present despite any and all circumstances, how the Beloved loves us no matter what we do or don't do. As experience of God's presence deepens, so does our capacity to perceive God in everything else, in people, events, and in nature. To paraphrase St. Augustine, quote, "God is closer to me than I am to myself." End quote. As our awareness of the divine indwelling begins to penetrate the depths of our being, our sense of a separate self dissolves. We experience life through the awakened heart and mind of love itself. We no longer live and act as if we are separate from others and from life itself. We no longer depend on acquired programming or group identity to define our relationships. Our experience of life moves beyond the sensate level so that we can live and move and have our being in the Spirit, as we hear in Acts 17, verse 28. And from 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 15. sanctify Christ as beloved in your hearts. Meditations. There are 2 meditations for today. The first is from Martin Laird's Into the Silent Land. When the mind comes into its own stillness and enters the silent land, the sense of separation goes. Union is seen to be the fundamental reality, and separateness a highly filtered mental perception. A helpful image to express this experience is a wheel with spokes centered on a single hub. The hub of the wheel is God, we the spokes. Out on the rim of the wheel, the spokes are farthest from one another. But at the center, the hub, the spokes are most united to each other. They are a single meeting in the one hub. The image was used in the early church to say something important about that level of life at which we are one with one another and one with God. The more we journey towards the center, the closer we are both to God and to each other. The problem of feeling isolated from both God and others is overcome in the experience of the center. This journey into God and the profound meeting of others in the inner ground of silence is a single movement. The second meditation is from Thomas Keating's Open Mind, Open Heart. Through grace, we open our awareness to God, whom we know by faith is within us, closer than breathing, closer than thinking, closer than choosing, closer than consciousness itself.
To practice. There are 4 suggested practices for this week. Practice number 1. Ponder, reflect, journal. What boundaries, beliefs, fears, doubts, and sense of separateness do you need to release to help you open more into the reality of unity with the divine and all that is? What holds you back? You might reflect on these areas: over conceptualization, believing thoughts just because they are persistent, overthinking everything; hyperactivity, doing in order to be doing, choosing activities out of restlessness, a disposition of striving; over dependence on self rather than letting go or listening; over identification with groups, culture, unquestioning loyalty to a group, attitudes of defensiveness for a group. Practice number 2. Father Thomas affirms that consenting to God's presence is God's presence. Deepen your practice of consent this week through your time in centering prayer, through the practice of the welcoming prayer, and through an active prayer sentence in moments that are neutral or not in need of directed attention. One example of an active prayer sentence could be a line from today's scripture, or abide in me, or simply abide. Note the effects of this ongoing consent. Practice 3. Watch this short video with Thomas Keating, Intimacy with God and the Growth of Non-Dual Consciousness, only about 2 minutes long, via the link in today's email. Practice 4. Consider taking an hour to listen to Mary Dwyer's explanation of Thomas Keating's teaching on how to live Grease Spot Theology. Again, you'll find the link in today's email. And some further notes. If you would like to donate to support the Word of the Week weekly reflection, please do so via the link in today's email. All love offerings of any amount are greatly appreciated. Coming this week, practice soul friending, be a soul friend, with Cherry Haston on Wednesday, May 13th, 2 to 3 p.m. Eastern Time. You can read more about this event and register via the link in today's email. It will be recorded for those who cannot attend the live event. A reminder that episode 1 for season 4 of Opening Minds, Opening Hearts podcast is now available. You'll find links to this episode and all previous seasons on our website or on your favourite podcast platform. Please post your reflections and prayer requests as prescribed in today's email. There are 3 weekly live Zoom prayer groups to support your practice and spiritual journey. They happen on Tuesday, 9 to 10 a.m. Eastern or New York time, Wednesday, 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern time, and Thursday, 8 to 9 a.m. Eastern time. Each prayer group has a slightly different reflection excerpt. Therefore, some participants attend more than one. You can find the links for these prayer groups in today's email. Additional opportunities to support your silent prayer practice and spiritual journey are offered in the Meditation Chapel, a Zoom-enabled worldwide meditation community. All groups are free and open to all. You can find out more by clicking on the links in today's email.